Kaiju here, and today I wanted to do an off review. So long story short, after the Playmates Gigan review, I got done with all of the figures I had gotten from my Christmas haul. So I wanted to now do a couple of just off figures, just ones that I've had for a while, and the first one of these that I'm going to do is Natsenameryu, the Ultraman Max Dragon. This is a figure that is considered one of the best Ultraman figures ever released, and I definitely see where people are coming from. Now, of course, let's get into detail, and remember when I said Gamera was the best detailed figure I had gotten out of that specific set? Well, even Gamera does not really match up next to Natsenameryu in the amount of fantastic detail that this mighty dragon has. There's a lot of nice scale detail all around it. If you can get a couple close-up shots, you can see all around the body there's a ton of very, very nice individually sculpted scales. Paint is a bit weird in some places, but it's not really that big of a deal. Probably the primary example of this is you probably see there's a little bit of golden paint right here on the neck, but it has no fading whatsoever to this part of the neck, which is obviously an individual segment, but it really doesn't affect me that much. Everything on this figure, paint and detail, is pretty good. There's a couple flaws, but at the end of the day, it really doesn't matter. Now we'll get into articulation. It's pretty simple and pretty basic. It has only 4 points. The arms move, the legs move. 4 points, not that big of a deal. I'll move him to the side now, or her to the side, for sizing. First, we'll compare it to a figure I just talked about a couple minutes ago, Gamera. And I'm not entirely sure how accurate this would be. I'm pretty sure Gamera would probably be about this size compared to Natsenameryu, actually. But all that matters is Natsenameryu is bigger than most kaiju figures, especially ones that Bandai has released, so always take that into consideration. But here's Gamera next to it, just as a little size comparison. Comparing it next to 2 Godzilla monsters now, we'll go with Godzilla, of course, first, and this is the 2000 variation from Bandai Creation. Natsenameryu probably should be a bit taller, but at the end of the day, really doesn't matter. 2 different companies, 2 different lines, it's fine. And now we're going to go on to King Ghidorah. This is the GMK variation, also from Bandai Creation. And yeah, this figure is kind of flawed in itself, so I don't really blame it for a weird size comparison either. Not really Natsenameryu's fault, just this figure being a bit weird. So there was Natsenameryu next to a couple figures that most of you probably have, so you can see it in sizing. And overall, Natsenameryu is a great monster figure. I know I didn't really touch upon everything in this review, because most of my reviews are pretty short, but at the end of the day, still a really nice figure. The paint and detail is fantastic. The articulation is a bit basic, but really doesn't matter. 4 points is really all you need. And the sizing is okay. The figures I compared it next to were a bit weird, but most of you probably have those figures, so it's just to get a general idea of how big this monster is. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this review, and I will see you in the next one.